Happy New Year's everyone. So if you've kept up to date with Deadlock lately, you'll know that the game has been in kind of a content drought as we patiently await for the next major update. Well, the dev team communicated last month that they were expecting this to be shipped out sometime in January, so there's high chances of this being right around the corner. I'm hoping that this update is somewhere on the size of the patch we got back in August-September with the last 6 heroes and the voting table, and I think that if it is, we'll see a nice resurgence of interest in Deadlock from beyond those just actively playing right now. I've been super excited for anything new, and with the neat thematic little winter event that we just had, I think it's a nice precursor into bigger things to come in the game. But I'm here for two things primarily: new heroes and the stories that they bring to the overarching world of Deadlock. So with the update almost here, I wanted to condense as much information I could find on who these potential heroes are and what we can expect out of them, if they even come out in this next big update, of course. So with that being said, the same disclaimer I give out anytime I talk about heroes and spoilers. Deadlock is still in an alpha state and is extremely subject to change. In regards to heroes, this could be their name, the abilities, their art and design, sound effects and voice lines, and even their story and lore. The best confirmation we can ever get is when the game presents these things to our very eyes. So please take any information here with a grain of salt. And now let's get into some of the heroes I found most interesting and any information available on them. I'll try to be straightforward at first and then sprinkle bits of my own personal thoughts in between. Venator. I would say that Venator is one of the more well-known heroes to come soon. Many people aware of this hero may have heard him referred to as Priest as a codename of sorts. From what we know, Venator is a grungy looking battle-worn vampire hunter on behalf of the Vatican Church. The Venators are specifically a group of assassins specialized in vampire hunting, but in some revealed voice lines with other heroes, the Venator that we'll be playing as is named Rourke, or additionally as Cain to Doorman.
You're just a man, Rourke, and you're gonna die screaming like one. You think I was just gonna let you hunt me?
Took down Rourke. They took out Rourke.
You know, Cain, one day you will actually believe the legend you sell to people, and on that day you will die screaming.
Venator carries a heavy arsenal. He wields some kind of rifle, a shotgun, a bandolier of wooden pegs across his chest, a giant crossbow on his back, wears a clerical collar, and has crosses decorating his shoulders. The adjectives given that you would see on his select screen are Punisher, Arms Expert, and Anti-Tank, which makes sense with the way his kit and abilities sound. By the way, Venator is able to be pulled up in the command console currently, just with a lot of missing assets such as his motto and the actual voiceover. His primary fire feels like an assault rifle with 30 rounds, whereas one he throws a Molotov that inflicts a burning damage over time and reduces healing. His 2 is a blast from his shotgun, knocking back his target, stunning if they hit a wall, and propelling him backwards. I'm guessing this is similar to Ash from Overwatch. His 3 in this current build looks like a passive that stacks defenses and weapon damage as he attacks. However, through leaks, it's said that his actual 3 will be a bear trap that roots and reveals and can be destroyed. And his ultimate, where he whips out his crossbow and fires 4 powerful shots that pierce, push back, and can inflict headshot damage. Also, I want to note that these abilities will have a good bit of true damage built into them apparently. Venator feels very Van Helsing inspired, and I think that fits pretty well with the occultish roster of Deadlock. We also already have 2 vampires, so some opposition to them would be pretty good. Some other interesting things about Venator that we can see through other interactions with heroes are that the Venators are also monster hunters, not specific to just vampires, and they have a fun rivalry going on with the Baxter Society, which is the monster hunting organization that Grey Talon, Shiv, and Calico belong to currently or previously. Paradox implies that she's stolen from the Vatican before and expects Venator to hunt her down at some point.
Knew this was bound to happen one day. Was wondering when they'd send you after me.
And naturally, Drifter has been a target of the Venators, but he implies that he's killed many of them.
When's the Vatican gonna give up? How many of your order do I gotta kill before you realize you can't stop me?
He also calls out that this current Venator is being held as a legend known as
I expected more from this sword of Saint Benedict.
Rem. Moving on, we have a hero that I am very excited about, known as Rem. Rem seems like a great addition to the cute little guy archetype. I also like to throw Viscus in this category. Rem seems to be this little owl cat-like creature with a very creative bedtime theme surrounding him down to his name, which is a reference to, you know, your Rem sleeping cycle. He's got a cute nightcap and gown, a little candle, and a pillow. I wouldn't be surprised if his wish from the patrons would be for a full 8 to 9 hours of peaceful rest. For Rem's kit, he's expected to be much more of a support, which is very much needed in our current roster. He's been said to contain a variation of these following effects in his abilities: an ability that steals minor objectives on a map by sending helpers to retrieve them, such as the Sinners, Machines, or Bridge buffs; an ability that tosses out his pillow and knocks up enemies on hit; another that shoots out a strong orb that may root; an ability similar to Yuumi from League of Legends, where Rem hops onto an ally to take a nap and grants that ally regen and a shield. Rem gets knocked off if the shield breaks, and he can use items but not cast or shoot; and an ability to basically quickly make enemies in his line of sight super groggy and tired. Then, if he gets them to fall asleep, they wake up and are afflicted with a massive headache that deals a big chunk of spirit damage. I'm not usually a fan of Yumi type of characters that just leech onto allies, but from the sound of it, Rem has all of the things supports commonly have: crowd control and healing or shielding for others. I'm excited to see what they end up doing for his primary fire and for his animations, especially for his melee. I'd love to just see him start pillow fighting everyone. Also, he has toe beans, so maybe he is a little cat. Fencer. Just as the name states, Fencer as a hero seems to be an actual athlete in the sport of fencing. Fencer appears to be an Ixian just like Abrams and Furnace, as you can see little horns, a tail, and will be the first red Ixian we know. Fencer has a red blazer on top of fencing protective gear, minus the wire mask that you may commonly associate with the sport, and of course the most important detail about Fencer is that he's using a sword. Now I know there are 3 classifications of fencing swords: Oyo, Epee, and the Saber. Anyone out there that knows a lot more about fencing, please let me know which class of fencing that you think this is, because my guess is that it's a saber, but it may be kind of hard to tell from this one image. For Fencer's kit, it's kind of up in the air what his primary fire will be. We're assuming that he must shoot something out of his sword, because if he was a pure melee hero, I think that would disrupt the mechanic of Deadlock's shooting and melee system. His abilities are said to bear a resemblance to Fiora and Yasuo from League of Legends. He has a short dash with multiple charges that can be used to get around or to attack. One ability that is said to refund stamina and air dashes to keep momentum up, and a parry that feels similar to the counterspell item. And his ultimate is said to be a large AoE thrust that deals a lot of damage. Is it time for Deadlock to also receive their edgy sword-wielding high mobility character? I mean, I guess we have Yamato, but you can never really run out of those heroes. However, my hope is that he's less assassin-like and more of a frontlining sword user that can take in damage and then dish it back out. Design and art-wise, I don't think I've ever seen a fencing athlete as the main thematic of a sword wielder, so that's really cool. Most of the time, I think you just find the French musketeer duelist archetype using the rapier. Also a big fan of tiefling-like heroes, so I will gladly accept another Ixian hero, and with it I hope we hear a lot more lore about South Ixia and the like. Graves. And the last hero I wanted to talk about today, but definitely not the last, is a hero that has gone under a codename of Necromancer, but I think is known as Graves. The only clear image we've been able to see is just her backside as of right now. And as you may notice here, just as her name and codename implies, she's got a very necrotic vibe to her. Her weapon may be this severed hand with the glowing green occult energy emanating around it. Also, she looks to be a student of some sort, maybe some kind of academy, as her outfit contains a backpack, a school blazer, and a skirt. And if we compare the image of Fencer, there's a possibility that Fencer and Graves both attend the same school and are wearing the same red blazer. From what's been said of her abilities, she has an AoE bomb and a wall that roots and that can work in tandem with each other, a passive that steals gun damage from her target that she's shooting and reduces their damage. She can raise a ghoul from the ground and send it forward to explode, and then she can plant gravestones at a location that consistently spawns zombies that seek out whoever you're shooting, explode, and then stuns the target. If you've ever played Smite before, it kind of reminds me of the goddess Nuwa, where you can explode your clay soldiers that you send forward. I feel like these heroes are covering a good amount of bases in terms of rounding out the roster with more unique playstyles and archetypes. And Graves seems to deliver on that specifically of a summoner-like hero. I think that's one of my favorite things about design philosophies of characters in Deadlock. There's always a main focal point that has a lot of other aspects not often combined, woven into their character design or in the genre of this game. We have a necromancer here, but she's not a stereotypical old raggedy man or gravekeeper or a witch. And I'm so curious for confirmation of what this academy could be, because this might be a completely new landmark and organization in Deadlock's lore. On a final note, I just want to say that these 4 heroes are not the definitive yeses to our long-awaited update. I just think that they're really cool, and they all have some form of art that I could show on screen. There's plenty more heroes under wraps that I think are worth checking out, such as Boho, who's a witch, Silver, who I believe is a woman who is a werewolf, and a unicorn. But to be fair, there's hardly anything to present here until we learn more. Overall, I think it's neat that these heroes are giving the community reasons to build a pipe and speculate about. Also, yes, there are beloved and very missed remaining Hero Labs characters as well. We all want Slork, and I personally still wish for Raven and Wrecker to release one day. As of right now, it feels like Valve is putting all these characters to the side for a bit, maybe permanently. But I just get excited about the thought of what a full release roster of the game would look like, and I kinda just want all of them anyways. But like I mentioned in my previous video, I've been in the process of moving, and now that's complete. I am loving my new space and the new amount of time I'm hoping to dedicate to videos here, so please be on the lookout because I appreciate all the support that I've gotten from all of you, and I absolutely love to make these. Once the new update arrives, you'll definitely see a surge of new content here, but in the meantime, please expect me to also ease back into my lore videos on Deadlock. And if you have any additional information you want to provide on the heroes I presented today, or whose lore you want me to cover next, please let us know down in the comments. But yeah, Happy New Year's everyone. I hope that 2026 is an exciting and prosperous year for all of us. Peace.